once again if you put it in the chat box. So yeah. So it starts off with, I'm not found on campus, but I'm key to your quest. Networking and research, you must give it your best. I might start with a L or a G or a J. In the world of job hunts, I help pave your way. What am I?
Think carefully, everyone. We'll give you a moment to ponder. You can type your replies in the chat box.
I'll just repeat the riddle once again if for the ones who've joined in late. So yeah. So there's a riddle, guys. We want your answers to, and the riddle goes like: I'm not found on campus, but I'm the key to your quest. Networking and research, you must give it your best. I might start with a L or a G or a J. In the world of job hunts, I help pave your way. What am I? Come on, guys. We expect a little more responses from your end.
Think hard, guys. It's quite an easy one. All right, I see so many answers coming up. So, as you have guessed, the answer is LinkedIn.
Right. Congratulations to all the sharp minds out there who were able to crack our riddle.
Quite a few
Off
people
campus
got it.
Yeah, yeah. Many of them, and all of them had the same answer.
Yeah.
Off-campus placement allows you to explore wider range of job opportunities beyond those offered through campus recruitment. This increases your chance to finding a role that perfectly aligns with your career goals. Now, let's move on to our fascinating webinar. And to guide us through this insightful journey, we have privilege of having a distinguished guest with us today, Mr. Pulkit Aggarwal.
Mr. Pulkit Aggarwal is an investments professional at Tusk Investments. With a formidable background in private equity, investing, hedge funds, and investment banking, Pulkit sir brings a wealth of experience and unrivaled expertise to the forefront of the industry. He holds a dual academic background with degrees in electric and electronics engineering and an MBA. He pursued education at renowned institutions such as RV College of Engineering in Bangalore, CUHK Business School in Hong Kong, and Northwestern University Kellogg School of Management in the USA. Additionally, he has been honored with the esteemed position of mentor at Northwestern University and CUHK Business School Career Development Advisor.
Absolutely, Sadvik. His wealth of knowledge and experience make him a perfect person to shed light on how students can explore more avenues and secure off-campus opportunities.
Right. So without further delay, I invite you all to warmly welcome him to the stage. It's our immense pleasure to have you here today, sir. We would love to hear from you, and we are sure that everyone would leave with amazing learnings today. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Krish, and the entire Hindu Consulting Group team and the leaders for inviting me. It's a matter of privilege to speak to such talented students from Hindu College, and the reputation and legacy of the institute is really there, and the students are really talented. And I wish you guys the best. Hope you guys find great jobs. So today's session, I'll just be starting with my presentation. But before that, I would like to tell you guys that, with your education, it's possible to crack a good job. So, you need the will and the skill. And that's what I'm going to talk about in my presentation. So let me start now. Yeah, is my screen visible? Yeah, got it.
Yes, sir.
So perfect. So, the webinar today is to secure off-campus opportunities. And you guys are in Delhi and at the epicenter of India. So, it's just a matter of time. You guys have the locational advantage. So, you can find a good job off campus. And finding a job off campus isn't a big deal. I found jobs off campus too. And, it's just how you go about it. It's about the right approach. And that's what I want to speak about today. So, this is my biography. So, had a great opportunity working in really niche industries like private equity and hedge funds. And what I've realized in my career is that do jobs which you are passionate about. So while you're at university, find things which you really enjoy doing and try to build a career in that field. That's where you'll find maximum success. And that's what I realized as I progress in my life to, find what I'm really passionate about. Because when you're working in a field which you're truly passionate about, it's as if you don't need to work because every day you're following your passion. So, find really good areas where you enjoy doing work, where you want to work without someone else telling you to. So doing that, self exploration is super important. And during my career, I've had a chance to, travel across Asia and US. So I've seen job markets across different places. And everywhere it's common. If you have the right approach, you can find a job off campus in India or globally. So it's just having the right approach. And this is just my personal mission. My personal mission is to be a catalyst for other people's success. I think that brings me the maximum happiness when my inputs help someone else succeed. And I think I have come to realize is that if you do good karma, good things happen to you. So as you guys are, searching for good jobs, good opportunities, try creating a positive impact around the people, amongst the people around you. So, that will bring great rewards to you guys in your career. And always be ethical. In life, you'll have a lot of opportunities. But if you are ethical in your careers, you will go a long way. So always be ethical and always think about inspiring growth. Early on in my career, I was always thinking about how I can make more money. But as I progress in my life, I realized that if you build skills and if you can execute those skills, money will follow. So right now, as you are early in your career, I would recommend you guys to focus on skill building. And when someone sees that you have the right set of skills, you will get the appropriate money or the money you are looking for. So focus your career on building skills where you can learn the most. And without much saying, knowledge is power. So more knowledgeable you are in today's economy, more will be your worth. So even once you find good jobs off campus, always build your knowledge, always build your skill sets. That will give you the maximum professional success. And there's this quote by a Chinese philosopher, Sun Tzu: every battle is won before it's fought. What it means is that before you are going for job search, always find the right approach to job search, because if your approach will be correct, then you will get the off campus jobs, because it's not as straightforward as finding jobs on campus. So you have to get the approach correct. And also in life, always before something, figure out the right way to do it. That will give you maximum success. And as you progress in your careers, you will see that it's a long journey. And as Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to have faith in destiny that your dots will connect in your future. And with that faith, you have to go proceed ahead in life. So the keys said the key my key what I would like to really focus is that you guys focus on identifying your skill sets and your strengths. See, suppose your skill sets is marketing, then try improving your skill sets in marketing. Don't go for a consulting job just because everyone else is going for consulting job, or don't go for a finance job if that's not your passion. Go for a finance job if you really enjoy finance, you really enjoy investing. So it's important to look inside and figure out what your passion is. And you have to constantly upskill yourself by taking practical courses. and reading books and seeking guidance from mentors who are experts in their fields. Because if you follow this pattern of constant learning, you will be the best in your field. So while you are searching for jobs, also focus on building your skills, constantly upskill yourself. Say, suppose if you want a job in investing, read the best investing books, talk to the best investors available in India or globally, and improve your investing skills. So that way, you will know exactly how you can be the best in the field of investing. So when you are looking for a job, people will realize that you are passionate about this field, and they are more likely to give you an opportunity. And one more thing I would like to share with you guys is that, always create original portfolio of work for interviews. Because when your interviewer sees that, you are doing original work, they are more likely to give you a job rather than if you are just copy pasting from others. So in your assignments in college or whatever your portfolio of work you're creating for your interviews, always, create original portfolio of work that will give you maximum success. So if you are, looking for an investment job, then start analyzing public companies and come up with your own investment recommendations and present those recommendations to portfolio managers. If they like your insights, they might give you a good job. Also, nowadays people switch jobs regularly. So if you find a good organization where the culture is good, you might also think about building a very long term career in that company or becoming a lifer in a particular organization. Now, in terms of off campus search, there's an interesting statistic. 80% of the jobs are actually not advertised. So, you have to become good at finding jobs off campus because once you graduate from campus, you'll have to find jobs off campus when you are looking for new career or a job change. So, this is how you can proceed ahead is that you should have a marketing plan of yourself and then create a target company and contact list. Say if you want a job in investments, then you should have all the investment companies in your target list or companies, funds you like to work with. And then you have to start reaching out to them, set up informational interviews, build a relationship, and convert it to an interview. So this is a framework which will come useful to you in your entire career, professional career. Now, self assessment is very important. Nowadays, I see students going for jobs in any particular company. Like, they don't have a particular target. So, in terms of self assessment, I would recommend you guys is figure out what skills you like or dislike, sectors you like to want to work in, and what kind of work environment suits you. So, figure out, do a self assessment and do a self exploration to find out what sectors you like to work in. Say you like marketing, then figure out more companies which are there in digital marketing or out of home marketing, or find out the various avenues available in marketing and then try to build a career in that. Say, suppose you like finance, figure out what are the domains of finance you really enjoy doing. Say you want to do investment banking or private equity or hedge funds. Figure out whether you want to be on the sell side, like investment banking, or on the buy side, like private equity investing or hedge funds. So that is super important. Then I would urge everyone today to write down their ideal job description. By that, it's as you can see in the slide, it's important to note down what kind of industries you are really passionate about and then finding a job in that particular industry. And this is a slide which talks about know your market. So you should know your preferences and then you should know what is required for a particular job. Say you want to work in private equity investing. then ideally you should be good at making financial models. You should be good at analyzing companies, private companies. So, figure out what your key strength is. Figure out, you have to be good at macroeconomics. So figure out what is important for a particular field. Because in private equity, you also need to build relations with the promoters of the company you are going to buy, and build good relations with bankers who are going to give you investment deals, or you are going to source proprietary deals. So figure out what is important for a particular job and what your skills are, and then find out what aligns and what does not. So know your product, know what your skills are, what are your gaps, and what you can leverage. Say, suppose you want to work in hedge funds today. So I would urge you guys that, read out, read Economic Times, read the various news sources, start analyzing public companies. New focus of marketing right now. New focus of marketing right now. Do a lot of projects, practical projects, and prove your worth to the recruiter or to the C-level executive of the company you're interviewing with. And this is super important to have a and this is super important to have a 30-second pitch. When and a lot of people are there by which with whom you can build relations with. So I typically urge my mentees not to network. I tell them build relations. So, by that I mean build relations with your former coworkers, with your classmates. When I was in the US and I was looking for job, a Japanese classmate of mine who was a good friend, he recommended me to interview with a VC fund, venture capital fund in California. So, you never know who will help you out. So, build very good relations with your classmates, build relations with your professors, with your friends, with your former bosses and mentors. And, when you build very good relations, they automatically want to help you. And everyone knows that you are a student right now. So everyone wants to help you out, right? So always focus on building relations. You don't know who can help you out in finding a job. And once you've identified the contacts, I would also recommend you guys to meet with a career coach or with your seniors and refine your cover letters and resumes, because a resume has to be very good to get shortlisted, because nowadays companies get a lot of resumes, a lot of CVs. So I would typically recommend you guys to have a one-page CV and to be proofread by a senior person in the industry, or by your seniors in university, or by a career coach, to see there are no mistakes. The formatting of your CV has to be very good, and your cover letters have to be very crisp too, to be shortlisted by companies. So spend a lot of time in making a good CV. And once you've identified your target companies, say you want to work with Netflix, reach out to a senior executive in Netflix and tell them how you are connected, what kind of requests are you trying to make with them, and a call to action. So this is a sample framework by which you can reach out to constant to your network, and target executives you want to work with. So you can refer to this email structure, or make your own framework also to reach out to contacts. This is to set up your informational meetings. And scheduling of informational interviews very important. So suppose you want to work in Singapore, so or in Hong Kong, or in London. So take a trip to London and reach out to potential recruiters in London, or potential C-level executives, and set up time that hey, I'm from India. I'm here for 4 days. I would like to grab a coffee with you, and get your advice on a good career, and set up these informational interviews in your target cities with your target companies. And then I would urge you guys to build relations with those after during those informational interviews. And once you have secured the informational interview with your target companies, it is important to be very prepared, for those meetings. Suppose if you are interviewing with a private equity fund, you should have your investment pitches ready, which you can pitch, like, a particular company they can invest in. So the portfolio manager will feel that, hey, this guy, Siddhant, or this guy Ravi, he's prepared a financial model, he's prepared an investment thesis, and he knows his work. So the private equity portfolio manager or the investor will will more likely be willing to give you a job or take a bet on you if you are well prepared for the meetings. Say if you want to work with Netflix and you have a certain presentation for them, a certain original portfolio of work for that particular company, they are more likely to hire you. So always think how I can, add value to a particular company, and attend those meetings with that mindset for maximum success. And in informational interviews, I would recommend you guys, don't ask for a job, don't ask for your resume to be forwarded, don't ask about compensation. These informational interviews with your target companies should only be about building relations, showing them that you are passionate about the work. Because if you are passionate about your work, that passion will come across in the meeting, and that target company will more likely be willing to hire you guys. And after your meetings with potential companies, always follow up with a thank you note, because people in the corporate world have very less time. And if someone is giving you 30 minutes of their time from any company, if you send a thank you note post the meeting, it just shows that, you have good people relations and you care about the other person. So always send a thank you note after your meetings. It just shows that, you have a good culture, and also helps you build a relation with your mentor in the target company. And say suppose you want to work in investing, so have a list of 50 investment funds you want to work with, and have some kind of Excel spreadsheet where you maintain your list of people you are networking with or building relations with. So you know whom you have spoken to, and then you can build relations with that particular executive. So all your networking contacts, all your contacts with whom you have spoken to should be in an Excel spreadsheet. So you know whom you are in touch with. And many times it's about how do you build a relation. Say you have met someone from McKinsey, right? Or from BCG. You met a senior partner from any big consulting firm or an investment fund. You know, send them articles. Send articles to the senior leaders. Send your class projects. Say you want to work in public equity, right? And you found an interesting article on investing, on an leg, on an investor who's a legend, right? And he's written something about public markets. Send that article to the chief investment officer of a particular fund. Build relations, show that you are passionate about your work, and that's how you build relations with your target companies. So always build follow up. And this slide is basically a summary uh, of the entire off campus recruitment. It begins with self assessment, then crafting your resume and your cover letters, doing your networking, and interviewing. I think in terms of interviewing, I would recommend you guys to do a lot of company research. Say you want to recruit with a particular company, I would urge you guys to, download their annual reports and figure out what the company does, figure out what their planning is for the years coming ahead, figure out who their competitors are, figure out what their products are, figure out where the company can, introduce new products in their market, what are the various challenges the company is facing. So, start thinking like a CEO of a company when you're interviewing with a company and figure out what a CEO will do for that company. And with that lens, prepare for a interview. Do a lot of research. And, success in an interview depends on if you are a good cultural fit for a particular company and if you have the right skill sets for that particular job. And if you have done a lot of research for your interviews, it shows that you are really passionate about that company. So doing a lot of research will help your case. And I think lastly, I would also urge that you have good questions prepared for the interviewer at the end of the interview. Ask them something which is not available on the website. So that shows that you are a knowledgeable person, someone who has given this job a lot of thought. So bring those skill sets and passion to a particular job interview and you'll get a good job. And I think early in your career, as you grow in your career, you can think about negotiating various offers. But at in entry level jobs, it's important to go for a job which you are really passionate about. So your focus right now should be to do a job which you are passionate about and where you get a maximum learning opportunity. And then money will follow as you build more skill sets in that particular industry. And what I also recommend people who are looking for jobs is that in today's job market, it takes time to find a good job. So it's very important to maintain a positive mindset. There'll be a lot of people telling you, oh, it's getting too late to find a good job, but it doesn't matter. Everyone works on their own schedule. So, find your passion and look for target companies, build relations with senior people in the industry and show them that you're passionate about this job and you have the right skill sets and someone will take a bet on you, right? So it's important to have a positive mindset during your job search. And even if you get a lot of rejections, it doesn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, you only need one yes. So just wait for that one yes, and in that time, constantly upskill yourself. And during your job search, surround yourself with positive people, positive friends, positive family members, positive mentors, and do a lot of physical exercise or yoga. It just helps you in your job search, right? And also think about involving yourself in community service. That's something which gives a lot of satisfaction to some people, and it will also give you a hobby in your during your job search. And with that, I just would like to say that finding a job off campus is not difficult. I've done it myself and found very good jobs via the off campus routes. So, it just takes good skills. You have to become really skilled in the kind of work you want to do. You have to build excellent relations with your target companies, and you need to be very positive during your job search. And that's going to help you the most during your job search off campus. And when you're searching jobs off campus, you can find really good jobs too. So I would urge you guys to consider finding jobs off campus. And I would also urge good companies and corporates to hire from Hindu College, University of Delhi. I know the students are very talented, and you'll find great talent pool here. With that, I would like to conclude and open the floor for Q&A. Thanks a lot.
On behalf of Hindu Consulting Group, I would like to extend sincere word of thanks to Mr. Pulkit for conducting such enlightening session. Now, we encourage everyone to participate as it will make our discussion even more enriching and engaging. So, if any of you have any doubts or queries, feel free to ask them in the chat box.
Right, sir. So we have a question from Yashil. So they are asking, what are the 5 skills you would recommend? And like it's an open-ended question, but I guess it's basically aimed towards 5 skills you would recommend to, secure a better placement option.
Yeah, so that's a great question and it's open-ended. But what I would recommend is that so your skills depend on the kind of jobs you're looking for, but on a high level, the key skill sets. So could you ask me, what kind of job he's looking for?
Yashil, if you're there on the meet, could you please type in what sort of a job are you typically aiming for? Commerce sector.
Got it. Got it. So Yasin, commerce sector is pretty big. So it means I think in terms of you want a business job, right? On a more like a business role, commercial role. So in that your communication skills is super important, right? You have to be very fluent in spoken English and also fluent in Hindi or a vernacular language. So your communication skills need to be spot on, and you need to have very good analytical skills too. So in entry level jobs, you should. It's expected that you have good Excel skills, or nowadays good PowerPoint skills, and the basic skills you need in an entry level job. So focus on building hard skills, and also if you can build good analytical skills, that is super important nowadays. Python is gaining a lot of importance. And if you can do a professional course like a CFA or a CA, Chartered Accountancy, or maybe an MBA, that will give you, a lot of the broad skills like marketing, finance skills, which you can use in your job. So, focus a lot on building your skill sets and learning the practical nuances of the job. Say you want to work in sales, right? Ideally, you should, restart reading a lot of good books on sales from the legends. And, he will give you the practical insights that makes a great salesperson. And when you bring that knowledge to your job, that will give you a competitive edge. So you should not just have bookish knowledge, you should have practical skill sets required in that particular job to perform the day-to-day job properly. Yeah.
All right. So, sir, the another question that we have here is, what are some skills that we can learn to build ourselves in the field of finance?
Yes. So I think that's a great question. So if you really want to become good in finance, so I think first it's important to figure out where you want to work in finance. You want to work in sell side like investment banking, or on the buy side like private equity investing or hedge funds, right? So could you ask him which domain does he want to work in?
Uh, Mudra, can you please answer which side you're talking about, the buy side or the sell side?
So they're mainly looking for investment banks.
Banking.
However, if
Got
you
it.
could tell both, it would be helpful, is what Mudra is asking.
Yeah. So in investment banking, typically, financial modeling is super important, right? You have to become really good in financial modeling, advanced Excel, corporate finance, and client relations, right? If you are really good in financial modeling and advanced Excel and creating very good PowerPoint presentations, it helps you when you are an analyst, joining as an analyst in any investment bank. But what really takes you forward when you want to become really senior in the firm is to be very good at building client relations. So you have to become very good at client relations. That's what investment banking uh, is all about. If you can bring in a lot of deals for your firm, that will give a lot of that will help you grow in your career. So there's one side which is the hard skills, the technical skills you'll have to become really good at, and the next is the people skills, and working very well in teams, because you have to coordinate very well with your managing director, with your senior partners, with the various associates you'll work with in an investment bank. So developing good relations with them is also super important. So if you have the hard skill and good people skills and client relation skills, you can do really well in investment banking. And on the buy side, you have to start viewing, become good at analyzing investment opportunities, because there you are going to invest capital, right? So you should be passionate about generating new investment ideas. If you are working on the public equity side or in a hedge fund, you should focus on what are the various sectors which are emerging right now, what are the companies which are undervalued in a particular sector, which will have a good run up going forward, and identifying those investments when no one else is identifying it, you know, and then having the conviction to invest in those particular companies, because it's a lot of conviction. Say if the markets don't go in your favor, but you have should have the conviction in your stock that you can hold it, and then maybe when the company experiences an upside, you can do profit booking. So you should be good at analyzing investments. You should be good at communicating your investment ideas to the portfolio manager and convincing him to take a bet on your investment ideas. And slowly, as you grow in your career, you can go into portfolio manager track, where you start managing a uh, portfolio of investment. So it the learning curve is very steep, and you have to be really passionate about investments if you want to work in that field. Because if you're not passionate, you can't add value to your organization. So only work in investments or in investment banking if you really enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
So great answer, sir. So next
And
one is
also, I would recommend everyone to, read economic times, read annual reports of companies, listen to conference calls of companies. So, get the public understand what's happening and develop insights. Read the economists, read quality stuff that will give you the maximum success in your career if you're looking for career on the buy side.
right. The next question is, what guidance would you offer students who are uncertain about which roles or industries to pursue for their off-campus placements?
Got it. Could you repeat that question once?
Sure. So, what guidance would you offer students who are uncertain about which roles or industries to pursue for their off-campus placements?
Got it. Got it. So, it's an interesting question. So, first I would tell him or her is that, do a self assessment, like the slide which I showed in my presentation. Maybe at the end you can share it with them. So, in that, what I've mentioned is that do a self assessment, figure out skills you like to pursue, right? and then find out which are the various jobs where you can apply to skill sets. Say, if you enjoy writing, right? Maybe journalism is a field uh, you can explore, or content writing. You know, if you like to, so you have to identify what are the skills you're good at, and then find out which are the relevant sectors you can apply. And then, as you have a lot of talks with various mentors in different jobs, in different sectors, you can find out what are the day-to-day job looks like. And if you find that interesting, you can build a career in that particular field.
Right. So we have a couple of same similar questions. So I'll just ask you the common one. So they want to know how do they actually go about researching for off-campus opportunities, particularly jobs, and something like how would they do it targeted based on their skills? Like how would they use their skills to find tailored jobs for themselves?
Yes, so I think with a tailored job, like I showed in the slide, write your ideal job description. What are your skill sets and what industries you want to work in, where you want to apply those skill sets, and what are the locations, which locations you want to work in. See, suppose I have good skills in financial modeling, in Excels, in analyzing companies, and if I want to work on in private equity, and if I want to work in Singapore, then I should, or if I want to work in New York or in Mumbai, then find out 100 private equity funds through a Google search, right? Find out the people, senior people who are working there in that particular in Mumbai, and reach out to them for a meeting, right? If in the meeting, those senior portfolio managers will feel that, Krish is talented enough to do the job on a daily basis, then why won't they give the opportunity to Krish? If Krish can prove in the meeting that he's good in the work, he can do the job from day one, or do a significant portion of the heavy lifting from day one, it will make their life easy. So your job is to make the recruiter's life easy. That's why I tell you guys, this applies to me also. Every day I also have to improve my skills. I was talking to a senior mentor from Hong Kong who is a now managing director in a large fund. And he was telling me today, even the CEO of a company has to learn every day. So, this learning mindset has to be throughout your career, or else you'll get outdated. And, as you guys have to learn every day, even we have to learn every day. Improve your skills every day by 1%. It will become very big, compounding will happen over time. So that's your only key. And when people realize that you are focused on learning, they will give you a chance. So your passion needs to come out in the meeting.
Right.
Now
Great
tell
answer.
me, Krish, and what's the second moderator's name? Like, if you could mention
Sorry.
your name.
Satvik.
Yeah, Satvik. Yeah. So Satvik, if someone comes to you for a job, okay, and someone tells me I want to work in private equity, and there's one more guy who has come with his own investment presentation, his investment financial model, and his clear idea about the Indian markets. Whom are you more likely to give a job?
Obviously the second guy who has a better idea of the market with great research and already has a background and knowledge about financial modeling, because that would automatically ease my workload on teaching him and could get the most out of the guy.
Exactly. And now, Satvik, if someone has come so prepared for the interview that the CEO feels that if I don't hire him, someone else will hire him. Are you likely to get a job or not? Give a
Obviously,
candid answer.
yeah, obviously I like have a better chance of getting the job because it's like the cost benefit analysis for the CEO again. Like they would assume the benefit they would get from hiring that XYZ person and the cost they would incur if a competitor firm gets their hands on them before they do.
Yeah, yesterday I received a call from a young student. He wanted to work in investment banking, and he told me. I asked him, what does an investment banker do? He didn't know the answer to that question, and that's perfectly fine. And he told me that he doesn't have connections. What I told him is that if you don't have the skills, and if you have connection, that connection won't be of help to you. But if you have the skills, and then if you have the connection, then he'll be like, or she will be like, why am I not giving this kid a chance? So your job is to become as knowledgeable as possible, to build your skill sets, and then automatically people will recognize you and give you an opportunity. Why won't they give an opportunity to you guys? Even they have to run a company. They need skilled workforce. The problem right now is that companies are not getting skilled workers. So there are a lot of jobs. Jobs are for skilled workers. So what you're learning in university, that is good. I'm not saying that is not good. That is good. But on top of that, you need to build up practical skills which will make you guys employable. And that holds true for people who are working in companies also. Everyone needs to get skilled every day to perform their work at the peak level. Even I have to learn every day. There is no other option. Everyone has to do constant learning. That is the way to proceed. And then you build relations, it will, give you guys a lot of rewards.
Right.
Yeah.
So next up, we have a question. If we target to work in a hedge fund, what kind of a profile should we make?
What kind of a
Profile should we make? Like, what kind of internship should we target? What should be the key highlights or key pointers in our CV so that we get better opportunities in a hedge fund?
yeah, so with that, you can start investing small amounts of money. You can think about investing very small amounts of money into public markets, or creating and seeing how your investments are doing in the market. I know you guys are students, but even if it's a small amount, or if you can create a mock account, or invest small amounts and see what kind of returns they are making, right? And then you can show those results also to the portfolio manager. The portfolio manager will know that you guys are students right now, you guys can't make investments. He just wants to see what kind of stocks you've picked. Or even if you don't want to make investments, you can start analyzing public companies and share your ideas with the portfolio manager, and tell them what, get their feedback. If they think at your age you are thinking in a manner which is interesting, which is contrarian, and which is outside the usual thinking frame, he might take a chance on you. He or she might take a bet on you. So forming very good investment pitches, taking part in stock pitch competitions, I think that's also a great way to take part in trading competitions. So that is also some of the ways by which you can be recognized by a hedge fund.
So another question that we have is how we can do research about off-campus job using our skill. I guess it basically means to look for the off-campus opportunities where our skills will be most suitable.
Yes, so first you identify what are your key skill sets, and you start doing a lot of research online, right? Say, suppose you want to work, figure out what are the skills in investment banking. Just do a Google search, and all the key skill sets will come. Then, if you want a deeper insight, start talking to people in the industry. Start talking to investment bankers. and understand, what are the day-to-day job look like. Ask these questions to the experts in a particular field. Say you want to work in marketing, right? Speak to the marketing manager in Coca-Cola or in in HUL, in any of the marketing companies. Start talking to industry experts and ask them, in that particular sector, sir, what skills I want to build. So that's the way to go ahead. And also, if you look at the job descriptions, the skill sets will also be mentioned in most job descriptions.
Right. So the next question is, keeping the current job market in mind and also recession, what is something we can do that gives us a edge over our peers, specifically for IB roles?
Yeah. So first is building a skill set, and then is building relations with the key stakeholders in the investment banks. So people who are going to make the hiring decisions, build good relations with them.
Right.
And early on, it should not be about finding a job. It should be about building relations. Learning from them. See, you're talking to a managing director of a large investment bank. Ideally, it shouldn't be like, Krish calls the managing director and just says, sir, I want a job. You know, the managing director doesn't even know you right now. So, build your relations with him. You know, grab a cup of coffee with him, send him book suggestions or take book recommendations from him, send him good articles, send him interesting articles about industry. If you have a good idea where a deal can be made, send him that deal idea. If there's an important economic news and important update, regulatory update, send that update to the managing director. Build that relations with the key stakeholder. And then, once you have built the relations, an opening will come. He might think that, Krish or Satvik has taken the initiative to, build that relation with him. So why not give them an opportunity first? Or why not give Mohit an opportunity who has built a relation over 1 year, right? Now, Satvik, if some student has, you are the managing director and a student has built relations with you over 1 year, and someone who has not built any relations with you has added no value to you, whom are you more likely to give a job?
The person with whom I already share an existing relationship.
Yeah, and you don't need an existing relation, right? Relations are built from scratch. So you have to do the hard work. And in investment banking, it's also a lot about client relations. Now, when the managing director feels that this student at such a young age has been able to build a relation with me, why shouldn't I give him a chance? Tomorrow I'll hire him. He will build excellent relations with my clients also.
Right.
He will bring in new clients for the investment bank. He will bring in new business for the investment bank. A lot of jobs in US in investment banking, students from great Ivy League, they have built such good relations during the networking phase that the interview was just what should I say, a formality.
Right.
So because they, over the course of the time, the managing directors are experienced people. They understand the quality just by talking once. So over a year, it's very easy to for them to figure out whether this guy is talented or not.
Right.
So
So
that's my
next,
answer.
next, there's a situational question for you, sir.
Yeah.
So, Pulkit, sir, imagine you're looking for finance internships with a financial modeling and equity report project, but no experience. How would you go about finding opportunities?
Yeah. So pick any public company, build a financial model, build an investment report, and ship that report to a portfolio manager. and tell them that, this is my research. If it's good, don't ship. Try to do quality work. No one can stop you from analyzing a public company.
Right.
So pick any public company and do the analysis.
Correct. So another question is, what skill sets or what skills should is a recruiter primarily looking in a candidate centered around consulting jobs?
Yeah, so I think in consulting, I had interviewed with McKinsey once. So what I realized is that they really look for, they have something called an airport test also. You know, Typically consultants spend a lot of time traveling. So, they have this thing in their mind. If I'm stuck with this guy or girl in an airport, will it be boring or will it be fun? You know? So the fit is super important in consulting, and it varies for every firm. McKinsey is different from a BCG, is different from a Bain, from what I've heard. And so your fit is very important in consulting. Your problem solving skills is super important too. So you have to be analytical and have very good problem solving skills, because the cases which you do in university and the cases which you receive in a McKinsey interview is very different. Like from experience, I can say it's not the same from the various case books you have in college, whether in India or US. So you have to be really good at, uh, solving unknown cases. I think that's super important. And, having very good communication skills, how you can communicate a solution to the partner also. So typically in McKinsey during my time, there are 4 rounds of interviews. One round of interviews I had in Chennai, then the second set was in Dubai. So there you also have interviews with the partner of the firm too. So they should feel that you are a good fit for the company, and you have great communication skills and problem solving skills. Yeah.
Right. So this will be the last question that we'll be taking. Sorry, guys, I understand that you all have a lot of questions, but as we're already over time, so the question is, if you had to give just one advice for investors, what would it be?
Do your own investment research. A lot of investors copy ideas from different other investors, right? But if you do your own investment research, then you will have the conviction to invest in a company. you know Say you have done your own investment research and the stock price falls down a lot, but if you have conviction, you will hold on to that investment idea to enjoy the upside also, and you will know when to exit from that particular investment too. So it's very important to do your own investment research. And just because another known investor has invested in it, you should not lower the quality of your due diligence. Your due diligence level should be very high before any investment. Yeah. And always have an edge. By edge, what I mean is that always have an investment analysis style which is different, you know, which is proprietary to you. I think that will give you the edge. If everyone is looking at a company in a certain way, but if you are able to look at the company from another way, right? If your perspective is different from the crowd, that helps.
Right.
So, do your own investment research, and it's important to invest in quality companies, but it's also important to do value investing in high quality companies at bargain prices
Hmm.
with a good margin of safety, with solid corporate governance. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. And these are my personal views.
Right. Correct. So thank you, sir, for the great answers and the exceedingly well prepared presentation that we are prepared for all of us here.
Yeah.
So now I would like to conclude this session. So thank you, sir, for the valuable insights and practical strategies you shared on securing off-campus placements. Your guidance on networking, tailoring applications, and leveraging opportunities has equipped us to explore new avenues for career advancements and will definitely help us to enhance our career prospects. We are grateful to you for taking out time from your busy schedule to conduct such an insightful session and sharing your expertise with us. Please accept the small token of appreciation from our side. Can you please have the memento presented?
Thanks a lot. It really means a lot, Satvik, Keshav, and the entire Hindu consulting group. Hindu College is an amazing educational college. And, I'm sure a lot of top recruiters, elite recruiters will hire from your college because you guys are talented. And I would also urge a lot of good MBA universities to hire talented students, recruit students from your college. And I'm sure top college companies will come to you guys. And no job is impossible. If you have the skills and the will, you can find any job in India or globally. So keep at it and just have a positive mindset. You guys will achieve great things in life.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words.
Yeah.
So now I would like to officially put an end to the session. So thank you everyone for joining us today for this enlightening session. Your presence and participation truly made this session all the more engaging. But don't forget to join us tomorrow for another insightful session on consulting CV and interview preparation. Until then, keep learning and stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.